Today's story is about something most people will never see on a map, never hear in the news, and yet it has the power to shake the world you and I live in every single day. While countries talk about peace and leaders shake hands in front of cameras, a silent battlefield has opened up behind the scenes. No tanks, no fighter jets, no sirens in the sky. But the impact, it can cut electricity to an entire nation, shut down grain shipments, or collapse energy markets overnight. At the center of this shadow war is a secret Russian cyber unit known globally as Sandworm. For years, they operated in the dark, slipping through networks, rewriting code, and hijacking systems without leaving fingerprints. But over the last few months, their activity has accelerated. And this time, the consequences are not staying inside Ukraine's borders. They are quietly spreading across Europe, the Middle East, and the global market that feeds almost every country today. We're going to understand why Sandworm has suddenly become bolder, what they've already hit, and how a silent line of computer code could affect food prices in Delhi, electricity bills in London, or fuel supply in Southeast Asia. Let's start from the beginning. Main story: the Shadow Unit. If you ask most people about modern conflict, they imagine two armies meeting on a battlefield. But the new battlefield is hidden inside wires, servers, and satellites. Sandworm is a special operations cyber unit linked to Russia's military intelligence agency, the GRU. For years, they've been described as one of the most dangerous hacking groups on Earth. Not because they steal money or personal data, but because they target something far more sensitive: a country's basic functioning electricity grids, water treatment plants, railway networks, power stations, grain storage systems, even port logistics. In Ukraine, Sandworm has a long history. They have attacked power grids multiple times since 2015, causing blackouts in the dead of winter. They've shut down government systems. They've disabled communication lines during active conflict. And recently, their operations have entered a new phase, a much more aggressive phase. Intelligence reports suggest that Sandworm is no longer just trying to disrupt Ukraine. They are trying to sabotage key points in the infrastructure that Ukraine uses to export food, especially grain. And this matters because Ukraine is one of the biggest suppliers of wheat, corn, and sunflower oil to the world. When these cyber attacks hit grain terminals or port software, shipments slow down. When ships slow down, global food prices spike. And when prices rise, every household, whether in India, Africa, Europe, or America, feels the pinch. A few lines of malicious code written in a dark room in Moscow can create grocery inflation for millions of families. At the same time, Sandworm is now targeting energy infrastructure, not just power grids inside Ukraine, but the pipelines, substations, and fuel logistics that connect Ukraine to Europe. Europe depends heavily on stable energy flows. A small interruption in the wrong place can lead to market panic, rising energy bills, and pressure on governments. This is the new kind of danger: an attack that isn't loud, doesn't create smoke, doesn't break buildings, but quietly pushes millions of people towards instability. Now, why is Sandworm doing all this? Because cyber attacks give Russia something extremely valuable: leverage. They can hit without revealing themselves. They can deny responsibility. They can cause chaos at a low cost, and they can do it again and again. Hybrid warfare, half cyber, half physical, has become Russia's main strategy. If they can't win on the battlefield, they try to weaken the opponent by targeting the backbone of the country: its electricity, food storage, transport, and communication. But Ukraine is not fighting alone anymore. Western agencies, private cybersecurity companies, and European governments are now working together to track the patterns of Sandworm's attacks. Every time they detect unusual activity inside a server, they try to isolate it. Every time a malicious file appears, they study its signature. Yet Sandworm keeps evolving. Their techniques change every month. The malware becomes smarter. The attacks become more synchronized. This back and forth, attack and defense, is happening in real time. Most people won't hear about it. Most governments won't admit it. But it affects the world quietly, like an invisible storm moving through circuits and cables. And there's another danger: Cyber attacks rarely stay inside borders. A piece of malware designed for Ukraine's infrastructure can accidentally spread into Poland, Romania, or Germany if it reaches the wrong server inside the wrong company, a shipping line, a trading firm, a grain exporter, or an energy supplier. You suddenly have a global problem. That's the spillover risk the world is worried.